Hey, welcome to my channel. This is Steve Larziliere. Today I'm going to talk about how I'm going to transform my agency into an AI enabled agency and build a holding company around it. Quick backstory. I have been running an agency for, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years. Before that, I ran a nonprofit and I grew it to be pretty big. And then early in my career, I started a marketing agency back during the first dot-com era. And so I'll just kind of give you a little bit of background. So like 1997, 98 through 2000s, there was a first dot-com boom. And I happened to be around the time, I happened to be a young person I just graduated from college, and I started. I was just curious about the internet. I remember, the internet was just like a thing that just came about, and I remember after graduating from college, I took a trip to Europe, and I ended up going overseas and traveling. And I remember talking to my friends who, just got their jobs, just graduated, and I remember being on AOL Instant Messenger back in the day, and then emailing them back and forth. And I was just kind of astounded as to like, wow, I can communicate with people and we don't have to be in the same room. So I was just really fascinated by it. And I came back thinking like, I'm going to work on the internet. Um, and so that's what I did. I ended up getting a job with this company, and it was a digital agency, and they helped big companies like build websites and build software apps and that sort of stuff. And I worked in the marketing department. I had learned a style of marketing back then called ninja marketing, and it's kind of like a spin-off from guerrilla marketing online. And I really got into SEO, search engine optimization, and building communities and chat rooms and message boards and news groups. And that's how I did it. And so I worked there for a little while, and then when the dot-com boom sort of busted, I started in my own marketing agency, and I started working in um, with record companies. So I ended up working with a bunch of different record companies, and one in particular, Sony Music, doing marketing for a lot of their hip hop and R&B artists back then. So I did that for about 4 years, and then a little thing came called 9/11 happened, and then that set the sort of country into another recession. And around that time, I started looking for something else to do outside of online marketing. So I started a nonprofit. If you Google Stoked, I started this nonprofit that mentored inner city kids using snowboarding, skateboarding, and surfing. I did that for a long time. But the thing that never left me was technology, marketing. And so I was able to, use marketing in order to grow that company. And then, fast forward, 10 plus years, I started looking to get back into entrepreneurship and marketing. And so I sort of fell into this space of lumber, sawmill, woodworking. And again, I went in, I used marketing in order to, help my clients build a brand. I created this brand called Woodpreneur. I started, helping people and coaching and mentoring and taking on clients using marketing in that space. And so, kind of like many entrepreneurs and agency owners, especially creative people with ideas that are technology minded, like the emergence of AI really is really exciting. Um, like all of this stuff that if you had any technical or creative ideas, it seems like it's possible right now, which is really, really sort of I'm giddy with excitement about it. And so for me, I look at this sort of my next phase of my story as like how can I create and enable AI or use AI to literally build a company, my communities, businesses, sort of next chapter of my life. I've built other things before, but learning to embrace media more. I've embraced technology, but I'm embracing media more. And looking to be a little bit more vulnerable and in a learning phase so that I can share what I learn with others. I know that when I ran my nonprofit Stoked, I inspired a lot of people from a distance to like give back and build businesses around a purpose. And again, I have businesses that I do right now. I have an agency. I have a furniture company, and I'm a fractional CMO of like of different businesses. I act as a head strategist and marketer for 7 and 8 figure businesses. And so for me, I'm looking at this next phase honestly as like I'm learning a lot and I want to share. And I know that there's lots of folks out there that are learning and sharing. I just want to sort of add my own spin to things and have you see what I'm building, and do it in real time and help document, so that hopefully, at least for me, this is really about documenting my path to creating an AI-enabled business. My sort of big picture is I want to build a holding co around this space, and apply what I'm learning in AI to a bunch of different industries, things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about sort of building and construction. I'm passionate about the nonprofit space because I think that AI can really revolutionize and help people. I'm passionate about real estate, health, longevity, sports, like action sports, culture. I think in the end, I'm really about sort of equity, making sure everybody has their fair chance to build a life that they want, because I've been fortunate enough to do that. I'm about diversity. I'm about having different voices and different people from different backgrounds in the same space. And I think AI can really help out with that. And then lastly, I just value independence and freedom, and do what you want, when you want, how you want it. And so being able to sort of share the future, I keep thinking like, what's the name of this? What do I want to do with this? And I remember as I was learning, and my whole journey's really started around this, 25 years ago, is that like I was consuming data at a rapid pace, and my mind was going to burst if I didn't share it. So I shared it with the person that was going to my eventual business partner. And and so that's kind of how I feel now. I'm like, oh my God, my mind is bursting right now with so many ideas, and I'm building stuff and I'm learning stuff, and there's so much and so like I just want to just document it and share it. And whether it's for my grandkids or my great grandkids, I don't care. Like, or it's for you to watch or listen to. And so the thing that kind of came up to my mind, I was like, how I was like, oh, I've been to the mountaintop, right? And it reminded me of like the Martin Luther King speech where he said, it was to the mountaintop, and he, essentially it was his last speech, and he wanted to, he talked not just about racial equality, but he talked about like economic empowerment, and he talked about a whole bunch of other things, but it was just like a bigger vision. It's like where he saw, and honestly, that's what I see. I see that we have this moment right now where it reminds me of, again, 25 years ago. A lot of folks now are younger than I am, but even for the folks that are in their middle age, like, it's not too late. It's totally not too late. You can reinvent yourself. You can learn and grow and not be stagnant. And I believe technology can help us. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it the mountaintop. I think I'm going to call it whatever. I don't care. But I'm just going to keep documenting and learning and growing and sharing. And that's essentially it. So look, I have so if you want to subscribe, if you're on the podcast, subscribe to this, like it, whatever. But I'm just going to keep documenting. All right. I'll talk to you later. See you in the next one.